Tim Niddle with Distilled Living. I'm here at Town Branch with Master Distiller Mark Kaufman. We're talking a lot about bourbon in various ways, and we've got lots of events happening around Central Kentucky, but we want to get a sense of who you are and then talk about your bourbon a little bit. So how did you get into bourbon, and how did you become the Master Distiller for Town Branch?
Okay. Well, I've been involved with Alltech, which is a parent company of the Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company, and I've been involved from day one when we came down here on a Sunday afternoon in October and decided to buy the Lexington Brewing Company. And we didn't have any intentions of making beer at the time, but we could have used the tanks. We were very busy at the time, didn't have time to take the tanks out, so I leased the building for 6 months. But the company also had 2 brewmasters on their sales staff on the alcohol division that we had. And with that alcohol division, the guys would do a lot of technical services. Well, needless to say, one thing leads to another. We sponsor an annual symposium for the feed industry. So a lot of people come in from all over the world. And we're always buying beer just for functions in the evening.
Oh, yeah.
So we decided, well, we've got the brewery, we've got the experience, why don't we make a beer for this symposium? That's how we got started, making Kentucky Ale. So that's how Alltech got involved with the Lexington Brewing Company, and then how we started making the beer. Everyone liked the bear in 2000, so later that year
it came out. It was fantastic.
So it was something unique. It was really at the beginning of the craft beer movement. So we went ahead, we've expanded into a number of other products like Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale, Kentucky Kolsch, and we've got Kentucky IPA. Then we've also got a series of seasonal beers too that we do every quarter. So it was about early 2008, Pierce Lyons, the owner and president of the company, he calls me up on a Sunday again and says, hey, I'm thinking about having some stills down at the brewery. I said, okay, what size are they? Don't worry about that right now. He says, Richard Forsythe, manufacturer of the stills, will call you tomorrow, and we'll see if we work out the details on these stills. So one thing led to another. Next day, found out we had some stills that we can have here in May of 2008. We installed them in our brewery at our brew house across the way from where we are now, and by September 1st, 2008, we started distilling.
That's a quick timeline.
Yeah, well, yeah, we don't do anything slow.
Yeah.
But one thing leads to another. I've always been involved with the engineering. I'm the chief engineer also for the corporation. And it was a natural fit for me to fall into this position as master distiller because I did all the engineering, the procurement, installations, and training for everybody. So it was an easy transformation for me to move into this position.
It's fantastic that the company had you as a resource in that way to move into the distilled spirit side of the business. So when you're building your facility and designing both bourbon and making American malt whiskey, what went into the thinking about that, and what did you want to get out of your bourbon at the end?
Well, their bourbon, of course, what's unique that we have here with our distillery is that we're a lautering process. And a lautering process, if you know the brewing industry, everything goes through a lauter tun. And basically a vessel that you heat it up, you do like a semi-cook with the cereals on there, and that is where you're trying to convert the starches to sugars, and then you extract that out, and that's basically a clear wort. So you're separating the clear sweet wort from the grains, and we're doing that process not only with the beer but also with our distilled spirits.
Wow.
So our vessels here, they don't see the heavy grains like you would with some of the bigger manufacturers that have continuous stills. So in that aspect, we're very different. We're also a double hot still distillation system too.
So at the end of it, when you get your bourbon out, you get it into the barrel, you get it matured, you finally get it bottled and ready to drink. What is unique about the flavor profile of the bourbon?
Our flavor profile is unique in that it's going to have more of a vanilla caramel taste onto it. Now we do make 3 distilled spirits off this still. One's a single malt whiskey called Pierce Lyons Reserve. The other is Town Branch Bourbon, and the third one is Town Branch Rye. So we're making all 3, but each one's going to have a slightly different character in that it's a very manual system that we have here. So there's a lot of hand craftsmanship that goes into making the product. So we are going after those nice flavors and those notes, especially with Pierce Lyons Reserve. You're going to get more of a malt flavor off that, very similar to what you get with an Irish or a Scotch whiskey. But same with our rye, you'll get a little bit more spice. But I can't take credit for all that myself. I mean, at least 60% of that flavor is coming from the barrel itself.
And with that, that is a complex assortment of spirits to have. You've got one in particular, so the single barrel bourbon that you're going to be pouring for us at the Bourbon in the Bayou VIP Bourbon School coming up very shortly. Can you tell us about that product and what makes it unique and different from the regular bourbon?
Okay, we started this a little over a year ago. Is that we bring in typically 30 barrels from the warehouse, and we pop the bungs. And each time we pop a bung, I always have a habit of smelling the bung, see if it's got some nice flavors to it. And every once in a while, you come across a barrel that's got this real rich, unique flavor and notes that come through on your nose. So then I would take about 4 or 5 of these barrels off of that lot of 30, and I said, I did start playing around with how does that nose match the flavor. So I pull samples off that, and I taste those samples. And then what I really liked about it was that I'm looking for a single barrel that has a very nice nose that's going to bring you to it. Might have some sweet kind of vanilla wood notes to it. But then I'm looking for that flavor that comes through where you're going to meet or exceed those notes. So you're going to really have those nice vanilla flavors. You're going to have a nice sweet caramel notes through, maybe a slight bit of wood note coming into it. Something that's meeting or exceeding your taste from your nose. And another unique aspect of this is not filtered. This is true spirit out of the barrel. So the only thing we do is remove the char from it. So it's unfiltered, right at cast spring.
So this is an opportunity to taste a bourbon that you personally selected because it's been bottled individually the way you tasted it right out of the barrel.
Exactly.
Wow, that is fantastic. Can't wait.
And we only bottle what's in the barrel. It could be 100 bottles, it could be 160 bottles.
This is going to be a unique offering.
Yes.
Hopefully people will be sure to take advantage of it.
I'm sure they will.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.